Liverpool, I think, are more likely to be a serious contender for the Premier League title. So simply by extending that logic, presumably you're pleased that they've dropped points.
Yeah, because City lost to Wolves. We'll talk about that later. And the challengers for City, I think, have looked really soft if it isn't Liverpool. Because I think I've been sat here every week saying Liverpool look really, really good, resolute. Even in the League Cup, I thought they were fantastic against Leicester City. So they look well-rounded. Their squad looks all at a very similar level in terms of form and confidence and how they want to play. So if they drop points, that's beautiful. I just don't think Arsenal are there in the same way.
Do you know what's a good exercise here? I'm going to treat this a bit like school. We're going to play a game. The game is, I'm going to say a club, and you say, can they win the league? Not will they, not are they going to, not you think they will, but are they capable of actually winning the league title? And by winning the league title, I'd say the minimum amount of points that you could even be considered for a league title, minimum is...
Let's say 86 to be in the conversation. 85 to be in the conversation.
Okay. Can Liverpool win the league?
Yes.
Can Man City win the league?
Yeah.
Can Arsenal win the league?
No.
They can. They can. Can Tottenham win the league?
No.
Is there anyone I haven't mentioned that you'd like to bring up here?
No one.
So by your definition of this, it's Liverpool only.
Yeah.
As a threat to Man City.
Yeah, and I actually think Liverpool dropping points in this game, I still favour them ahead of Arsenal, which in a cutthroat kind of title race would be crazy to say that.
So I asked you 4 teams, you said yes to 2. I think it's very difficult for us to not put Tottenham in this conversation now. Not because I believe they can, not because, I desperately don't want them to.
Yeah.
But we've just seen them beat Liverpool. We've seen them take points off Arsenal away from home, something that they struggle to do. They don't have a good record there. They've already beaten Manchester United at home. And then, almost more significantly, Tottenham, knowing them as we do, it's how do they get on in the games where you expect them to win? Do they beat Bournemouth? Do they beat Burnley?
Do you want the chance to win £250,000 in this weekend's Premier League fixtures? All you have to do is correctly predict 6 results. And obviously one of them is a massive game, Arsenal versus Man City, Premier League title decider. Whatever your opinion is on the game, if you just type that into Super 6, you get the opportunity to win £250,000. If you come top of our mini league, Club 23, on the app, you get a chance as well to win £100 at classic football shirts. That's an unbelievable deal.
Yeah. And the answer is, yeah, they do. They slap them.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to, unless you want to make full use of the power of veto, because I'm a firm favourite of democracy, unless you really don't allow me to put Tottenham on the table here, I'm going to do it. And unless you really don't allow me to put Arsenal on the table here, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put Arsenal. 4 teams. I'm going to put 4 teams on the table.
I get Arsenal. I still think there's a lot of gaps in this Spurs side for experience. The left back today, exceptional. Udogie. They have to go to City and win big games. I don't know if they've got the spine yet. And I don't want to be critical of Spurs. I love watching them. Almost my favourite side to watch outside of Man City in the league this season. Son's going to get you goals. If anything happens to Son injury-wise...
No, they don't have depth.
They don't have depth.
But neither did Leicester. They don't have depth. Generally speaking, you need depth, but their team is brilliant. They don't. I agree.
If Maddison stays fit for 38 games, Son 38 games, and then I'd even say Van der Ven's been that good.
Yeah,
I think he's been fantastic. And Udogie and the keeper. That spine, let's just say, maybe, just about maybe.
As I say, unless you passionately force me to take one of these teams. Okay, right. So 4. So we're going to explore it one at a time.
Yeah.
We'll start with Tottenham then.
Yeah.
Can Tottenham win the league?
It's obviously it's going to be really, really hard for them just based on the lack of quality in their squad at points.
They're picking up points.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They're undefeated.
Yeah.
They're winning games that you don't expect them to win.
Yeah.
They look so happy. Postecoglou is doing everything right. The players are so in tune with what he's building. The fans, even the board, the conversation around ENIC has gone away. There seems to be perfect harmony at that club for the first time in decades. I don't think they can either. I think the problem that they have massively is depth. Here's a question for you. This team, I'll tell you what, this team with Kane, they really could win the league. If this team with Kane, they really could win the league.
Yeah, I don't know if they played them at the same amount of freedom. I've always questioned that. I think James Maddison coming in with that shadow over him. I think James Maddison's literally come in and grabbed Tottenham with all of his quality on the ball and just said, I'm the main man. I'm the David Beckham of the side. I'm the kind of the figurehead. And he kind of lives up to that. The way he was cheeky at Bournemouth, kind of taking the corner and moving the ball a little bit to wind up Bournemouth fans. Little moments like that showing character. You know, he's a Glenn Hoddle type for Spurs.
Okay, so aside from depth, why can't let's discount them then if you think they don't. And I agree with you, by the way. Yeah. I'm just leading this effectively. Why don't they win the league apart from depth? Is it inexperience? Is it a lack of anything that you can identify in that first team?
I see quality across their back four. I actually see quality in the keeper. I don't think a lot of people talk about Vicario enough. I see quality in midfield. I think it's that Richarlison. I think Kulusevski's gone under the radar. I don't think he's been good this season. I don't think he's been bad, but I don't think he's been that electric form that we talk about, which was nearly 2 years ago now. So I don't think he and Richarlison offer enough. Brennan Johnson maybe could come in and score 10, 15 goals in all competitions. Maybe. He's injured. So if anything happens to Son and Maddison, they're in a world of pain.
If we're coming up with one reason why they don't win the league, is it simply depth?
Yeah, I think, basically, it's just depth.
Okay. Manchester City, we don't really need to talk about. Obviously, they can win the league. They're treble winners, and they have won the league for 3 in a row already. So let's just have that one as a given. You were slightly sneery about my suggestion that Arsenal belong in this conversation. So let's explore that now. Arsenal ran you... They didn't exactly run you ragged, but they half had you worried last year.
Of course, yeah.
Not you specifically, not you as a man. I know, actually, weirdly, they didn't have you worried, but they had... You collective, I'm using the plural of you.
Group.
City. I had the City group worried.
Yeah.
And I certainly thought they were going to do it at various points.
Of course, yeah.
So they certainly deserve a mention here. They haven't really played very well this year, and yet they're still up there. They haven't really played very well this year, and yet they're unbeaten. Their new signings haven't landed, and yet they're winning games and now scoring goals out of charity. They are certainly a force, certainly capable of winning the league. Why do you believe they won't?
It's almost similar to the Spurs one. I look at their front three and you think, am I scared of Eddie Nketiah? No. Am I scared for Jesus? Yeah, I'd be a little bit nervous about having Jesus in a front three with 2 other world-class players. Of course. He was doing it at City with Aguero. Am I worried about Saka? Even though I love Saka, I think he's fantastic. I still think I'll be ruthless. If he wants to be a world-class player that he obviously thinks he can be, everyone thinks he can be. I think he can be. I think his game's actually still got to improve a lot more. That's just my opinion. So I'm not sat there worried about Arsenal blowing us away at the Emirates or the Etihad.
Let's explore it. Arsenal and Tottenham, in fact, are both 1 point behind Man City. And Arsenal are going to go to City. And City don't have Rodri. That's next weekend, by the way. We are live for it. Live at 4 p.m. on Sunday. So make sure that you tune in for that. It's going to be spectacular. You have never been scared of Arsenal. Ever since I've known you, whenever you play Arsenal, oh, boo, this could be the one. You're worried. You know, this has got trouble written all over it. And you always say, absolutely not, we'll slap them. And slightly annoyingly, although I'm generally pleased when you beat them, but annoying because of your smugness, you've always been right.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like that going into this game? Are you still very confident that you beat Arsenal?
Look, the way we smashed them at the Etihad, the way we smashed them at the Emirates, the way we bullied them physically, we literally can't do that as much because Rodri's not on the pitch. He's one of the most built players in the league, and his physicality offered an out for us against Arsenal. Do I think we have the minerals to sit there, make it a 1-0, whip it into Haaland, show minerals, show guts and determination, 1,000,000,000,000,000,000%? Will we beat them? I think we'll beat them. Can I say 4-0? Of course not.
But you think you beat
1-0, ugly, show more minerals.
You're confident that you win.
And Arsenal need a goal and they feed it into Eddie Nketiah and his touch is a 5-yard bobble like a volleyball. No way.
Scared of Jesus?
No.
Okay. So, the only team left then is Liverpool, and you believe that they are your genuine competitors. Okay, that was an
100%.
interesting... I found that very interesting, mate.